Welcome students. As you know, in previous lecture we had discussed about different type of electrical potential energy. Today we will take the small heading first, that is dielectrics. After that we will discuss about electrical capacitance, which is very important chapter for you. Okay, so today's first heading is dielectrics. Dielectrics. Okay, so see the definition. These are insulator. These substances are insulator which doesn't allow the flow of charge, but they exerts the force. They are called dielectrics. As like this pen, rubber, wood, they are called dielectrics. Or dry soil is there. So once again, all those materials which doesn't allow the flow of charge, it means normally they are insulator. Dielectrics, normally they are insulator who doesn't allow the flow of charge, but they exerts they shows the experience of force. As like this is, let's suppose this pen, no doubt this is rubber, it is a dielectrics. If we rub it, it will experience the force on another body. So that's why they are called dielectrics, which doesn't allow the flow of charge, but they exerts the force on another bodies. They are called dielectrics. So definition is very easy. All those materials which normally are insulator doesn't allow the flow of charge, but shows the exerts of force on another materials, they are called dielectrics. There are two types of dielectrics. First is called polar, second is called non-polar. First is called polar and second is called non-polar. So first see the differences between polar and non-polar. Polar, all those materials which center of mass of proton doesn't coincide with center of mass of electron. You can see there plus and minus are separated by very small 2a distance. They are called polar, as their name polar, as like your H2O, HCl, they are called polar dielectrics. You better know pure water is insulator, so they are called polar because center of mass of proton doesn't coincide with center of mass of electron. They are called polar dielectrics. This is first point. This is the diagram, plus and minus separated by small distance. Since 2a is not 0, so P is equal to Q into 2a. We better know P is the dielectric moment. So it will be, since they are separated by small distance, 2a is there, 2a is not 0, so P is not 0. This is very important point. Their electric dipole moment is not 0. We are talking about polars. Since they have 2a, because they are separated by 2a distance, so their electric dipole moment is not 0. P is not 0. And other point, tau is equal to Pe sin theta, and since P is not 0, so tau will not equal to 0. This is all about your polar dielectrics. Once again, all those materials which center of mass of proton doesn't coincide with center of mass of electron, they are called polar. This is the diagram. This is plus, this is minus, separated by 2a distance. Example is as like H2O, H2SO4, HCl, they are the examples. 2a is not 0, so their P is not 0. P for electric dipole moment is not 0, as well as tau is not 0, so they are called polar dielectrics. Non-polar, all those material which center of mass of proton coincide with center of mass of electron. You can see there proton and electrons are not visible, while here plus and minus are separated by small distance. Here plus overlap the minus, it means their center of mass of proton coincide the center of mass of electron. They are called non-polar. This is the diagram, and its example is as like H2, as like O2, so on. They are called non-polar. Okay, since very important point, 2a is 0, no doubt they are not separated by some distance. Since 2a is equal to 0, so their electric dipole moment P is equal to 0. Note down the points. They are the basic difference between polar and non-polar. This is the diagram for polar, this is the diagram for non-polar. Example is H2O, HCl, here example is hydrogen, oxygen. Here P is equal to 0, here, sorry, P is not equal to 0, here P is equal to 0 because 2A is 0 since they are not separated by very small distance. So this is the introduction about dielectrics, polar and non-polar. Are you getting that? These are very easier points. So this is the theory portion. Now one thing we have to do, since polar is already polarized, so another question is polarization of non-polar. How can we convert the non-polar into polar? So our next heading is polarization of non-polar dielectrics. Polarization of non-polar dielectrics. Very important. There is no reason to polarize the polar because polar is already polarized. So we are trying to polarize the non-polar dielectrics. So here you better know they are called non-polar, and here because E naught is equal to 0. If electric field is 0, they behave as a non-polar. Note down the point. As you know, no electric field is applied. So as you got previously that plus and minus coincide to each other and their electric dipole moment P is equal to 0. Okay. Now let's suppose you applied inside the electric field. This is plus, this is electric field plus, and this is the minus. And you better know direction of electric field from positive to negative. Let's suppose you have applied external electric field and that electric field is E naught. E naught is the external electric field you applied it, and all these materials you filled inside. Keep in mind, those who was non-polar, we are trying to polarize them and we fill all material inside the electric field. Then their plus and minus little displaced to each other because plus and minus are coincide to each other. When they inserted between the electric field, then their shape become as like this. Their shape little change. What happened? This is plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Since their plus and minus are getting separated by some distance due to electric field, plus getting minus, and here minus getting plus. Again minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, and so inside they will cancel out to each other. Keep in mind, and this is called dielectric constant. This is, you better know, that is called K. And you can see there another electric field created inside the material, and that is due to polarization, and this is called EP. Very important topic. In the conductor, we got the answer when any metallic conductor inserted between electric field inside the material, electric field turns what? 0. While we are filling insulator, they are called dielectrics. When we fill the non-polar dielectrics, they gets polarized. Our question is polarization of non-polar. When filled the non-polar dielectrics inside the non-polar dielectrics inside the electric field, then their plus and minus gets separated by each other. Plus is getting minus and here minus is getting plus, and inside they cancel to each other. Another electric field created from positive to negative and due to polarization. That's why it is called what? EP. So what a total electric field? Total electric field E is equal to what we get here? Come on, E naught minus what? Come on, EP. Are you getting that? So total electric field inside the material be E is equal to E naught minus EP. Okay. So what are the dielectric constant? You better know K is equal to E naught upon E. This is the dielectric constant. This is taught during the classroom. Dielectric constant is the ratio of electric field in vacuum divided by electric field in material. So what are the electric field in material? We got the answer, electric field in material E naught minus EP. So K is equal to what we get here? K is equal to E naught upon what value of E? E is equal to E naught minus EP. This is called dielectric constant. So this is called polarization of non-polar. Once again, when non-polar materials filled inside the electric field, then plus and minus get displaced to each other, and we will get inside another electric field. This is due to polarization. This is called EP. External electric field was E naught. So total electric field inside the material will E is equal to E naught minus EP. This is electric field due to material, and we know that dielectric constant is equal to electric field in vacuum divided by electric field in material. So K is equal to E naught upon what value of E? E naught minus EP. So this is all about your polarization of non-polar. Okay. So this is the question. Okay. Now we will consider about another question. And this is very important topic. We are going to start here. And it is electrical capacitance. Very important topic. Very important topic. This is new topic for you. Electrical capacitance. So see the conceptual points first. Let's suppose this is any tank. When any tank is filled by water, see the point. When any tank is filled by the water, its level regularly what? Increases. Note down the point. I am taking conceptual points from outside the physics. When any tank is filled by the water, its level, you know, its level regularly increases. What happens? Let's suppose its capacity is 5 liter. Its capacity is 5 liter, and when no water is inside the tank, its capacity was 5 liter. As soon as its level increases, what happened? It getting filled. What happened? Its capacity C what? Decreasing. So no doubt, if level increasing, capacity decreasing until its your tank doesn't completely filled, and when it completely filled, your capacity of this tank become what? Zero. I am trying to relate between potential, level, water and capacity. When your tank was absolutely vacant, its capacity was 5 liter. As soon as we put the water inside the water tank, what happened? Its level increases, so its capacity what? Decreases, and when it completely filled, its capacity C turns what? Zero. This is the conceptual point for physics. Okay, now come to the electrical physics. When any isolated conductor gets charged, see there same thing is we are doing here. It is charged by plus Q. When any conductor or isolated conductor gets charged by Q, its potential increases. See there, here level was increases, here potential increases. It means Q is proportional to V. We are getting here, when any conductor is charged by plus Q, its potential regularly what? Increases. Q proportional to V. Remove the proportional sign, you will get Q is equal to what? CV, where C is called electrical capacitance. Note down the point. Where C is called electrical capacitance and C is equal to Q upon V. C is called electrical capacitance and C is equal to Q upon V. Its unit is farad. Its unit is farad. 1 microfarad is equal to, you better know, 10 power minus 6 farad. 1 picofarad is equal to 10 power minus 12 farad. Its dimensional formula, C is equal to Q upon V. V is equal to W upon Q. Q will go up. Q square upon W. And the value of Q square, what we get? Q square, Q is equal to IT. It will get A square T square divided by W. You better know, M L square T power minus 2. They will go up. So what we get here? M power minus 1, L power minus 2, T power 4. and A power 2. This is the dimensional formula for electrical capacitance, and we better know the formula. C is equal to Q upon V. If I ask find out the capacitance, you have to focus on potential. If you put the value of V, you will get the C. C is called electrical capacitance. Note down the points. This is the unit, farad and microfarad. This is the dimensional formula, and the formula C is equal to Q upon V. Once again, when any conductor gets charged, its potential regularly what? Increases. Q proportional to V. Q is equal to CV, or C is equal to Q upon V, where C is called electrical capacitance. Okay. Now some graphical representation. First point for you. This is Q, this is C. You are getting a straight line. Very, very important topic. C is independent from Q. Many times that question asked. C is independent from Q. It means Q increases or decreases, C will not change. And second graph, this is graph between what? Q and V, and you are getting a straight line. You better know Q proportional to V. As soon as Q increases, what increases? V increases. So you will get a straight line. So this is the facts about electrical capacitance. If we try to maintain 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 volt. Note down the point. 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 volt. If any conductor is charged by 1 coulomb, note down the point. If any conductor is charged by 1 coulomb and its potential increases by 1 volt, then its capacity will be 1 farad. Its capacity will be 1 farad. Okay. So this is the all about your electrical capacitance. Okay, so that's all for today. Next day we will study about electrical capacitance for spherical conductor. Okay, that's all.